Those of us who are outside the academic world and have great interest in monuments of ancient world and are driven purely by the love of the mystery and the majesty of the locations these mysterious structures are often found within. All of us who are like this have a deep-rooted feeling that the academic narrative concerning ancient monuments is on the whole generally wrong. The primary reason for this would be a sensation that you're being given false information about these structures as soon as you come close to them. They don't resonate with one's personal internal consciousness according to the academic or the official narrative. They're always filled with an overriding sense of great mystery. You're left more puzzled leaving them than you arrive at them, and it's very hard to articulate the sensations that they leave within you in terms of you feeling something very profound or magical has taken place here. A lot of this could be a sheer romantic notion that we have inside ourselves regarding the ancient past, that it contains a great mystery. It contains something about us that we've lost as a species. But there's also another factor as well. Why do we know so little about them, and why are they so numerous and so many different kinds of them and going so far back into history? Recently something happened in Scotland that has thrown Irish academia into chaos regarding antiquities and archaeological sites. And this has been coming for a long time, because basically we're dealing with a profession and a field of scientific research that is completely wrong on so many levels. The primary reason for this is an ongoing attempt, which has existed since about the 1600s, to synchronize the ancient landscape of the world, and in particular Europe, with that of the biblical story. We saw this in Ireland with British Israelism, who dug up the hill of Tara in 1904. Why did they do this? Because these British Israelites got it into their heads, the tribe of Daniel was the Tuatha De Danann of Irish mythology, even though anyone with even the slightest amount of insight into Irish mythology would know that the Tuatha De Danann means the tribe of the goddess Danu, nothing to do with Daniel from the Old Testament. In Scotland last week, a research team announced that the Scottish Crannogs. A Crannog is an island settlement that's been artificially created. Generally they're circular in size and they're in the middle of lochs. Sometimes there is a causeway leading to them, other times they're accessed only by boat. There are hundreds of them in Scotland and Ireland, built by the same culture. In Ireland, it is believed that all these Crannogs come from the late Iron Age, because it fits the narrative that everybody on these islands and in Europe was a savage until Christianity came along, and suddenly out of the blue they became world-class metalsmiths, illustrators, artists and builders, as if none of these skills had existed prior to the arrival of St. Patrick. The recent discoveries in Scotland are so profound that there's no way now that Irish archaeology can run their biblically orientated timeline. They've now found that the Crannogs are actually thousands of years old, in fact even older than Stonehenge, going way back into the Neolithic. The radiocarbon dating has come back at between 3640 to 3360 BC, well into the Neolithic period and well before the erection of Stonehenge. An archaeological team led by a Dr. Duncan Garrow of the University of Reading and the Dr. Fraser Stewart of the University of Southampton in England investigated 4 Crannogs in the Isle of Lewis in the Western Isles of Scotland. At one of the sites, very well preserved and quite beautiful and intricate Neolithic pottery was found by Chris Murray, a former Royal Navy diver who lives on the island of Lewis. The investigation included making underwater surveys and carrying out excavations on the site to obtain conclusive evidence that these Crannogs were built during the Neolithic. Now, this is an important part. This is the first time they've done things like use divers. to go around and look at the bottom of the islands. And herein lies the whole problem with Irish antiquities. Most of it is a byproduct of rubbish in, rubbish out, working with at least centuries old data. This is the case with the rats, or the circular enclosures, and also with the Crannogs. They're building upon an antiquarian backstory that goes back 100 years, and in fact 200 years almost in the case of the Irish Round Towers. Instead of beginning with a clean slate and starting over again, what they do is they build upon what is already the established consensus. But this time, what's happened in Scotland, they can't escape this. They simply can't, because the evidence is too strong. The whole timeline of Irish and British antiquities has been thrown into chaos by the discoveries of the actual date of the Crannogs in Scotland. And this is going to change everything, but something tells me it's not going to happen for a long time, yet within the field of academia.